So Realme Malaysia decided to release both the Realme 6 and the Realme 6 Pro at the same time. So we got both devices with us and we got a test run with two of them side by side. And we did say that you should be better off buying the Realme 6 instead of the 6 Pro. And in this video, we're going to tell you why. So have you watched our Realme 6 Pro review yet? Because you should watch it at the top right corner there, because we will make a lot of comparison and just correlation between both the Realme 6 and the Realme 6 Pro. Don't worry, I'll wait. Alright, so let's begin the Realme 6 review. In the box itself, you do get all of the same contents. You do get the phone itself, a USB Type-A to USB Type-C charging cable. Yes, the Realme non-Pro series is finally moved to USB Type-C, and you also get the TPU case, which I don't know why it's still smoked, and we'll get into that later as well. And yeah, you still get that 30-watt charger, which I think is fantastic for a mid-range phone like this. And Realme does have a new design for the Realme 6. As you can see here, I'm not too sure what they're calling this design. It's a Comet something. So you can see it seems like all of the light is emanating from the USB Type-C charging port at the back here. Yeah, so this is the whole Comet whatever design. I don't know why they opted for this. It looks a lot more chic-like, I guess. Yeah, chic-like. And even with a white color design, Realme still give you this smoke case, which I don't know why they should just give me a transparent TPU case instead, because I do want to show off this white design to everyone instead of just covering it up with a smoke TPU case. And Realme also moved the fingerprint scanner to the right side this time around to retain that beautiful back design. And looking at the front of the phone here, yeah, Realme used a slightly smaller screen compared to the Realme 6 Pro. This is a 6.5-inch IPS LCD display that can go up to 90Hz as well. And once again, if you want to learn more about the whole fake 90Hz thing between the Realme 6 and the Realme 6 Pro, do click at the top right corner there, because we did spend a lot of time testing that device in terms of this fake 90Hz thing. And we would appreciate if you will share, like and subscribe that video to everyone you know, because that is very important. And back to the phone itself, the Realme 6 does come with a punch hole cutout at the top left corner there instead of a pill-shaped cutout. So it only has a single selfie camera, which I think is plentiful anyway. And yeah, it still has that obvious dark glow around it, but it is not as distracting as the Realme 6 Pro. So maybe this is better for you? So the Realme 6 comes with this list of specs, and the most important thing to take note of is the MediaTek Helio G90T chipset. So this is actually our second time encountering this chipset, but it is the first time this chipset is used with a 90Hz refresh rate display. So let's jump straight into the benchmarks, and as you can see here, all of the scores of the G90T is much better than the Snapdragon 720G that is found on the Realme 6 Pro, and which is why we said the Realme 6 would be a better deal in the first place. But when it comes to the VRMark benchmark, we did compare the Realme 6 with the Realme 6 Pro as well, and as you can see here, the average frame rates that they both can maintain is still way below 60Hz. So yeah, once again, the Realme 6 has a 90Hz display, but it is only useful if you want to scroll Facebook or Google Chrome. That's about it. But interestingly, when we did our battery life test, well, the Realme 6 with the MediaTek Helio G90T running at 1080p 60Hz, the battery life is worse than the Snapdragon 720G, but when we crank it up to 1080p 90Hz, for some reason, the MediaTek Helio G90T can maintain near identical power efficiency as 60Hz, and I find that to be just mind-blowingly good. And for the charging test, well, both the Realme 6 and the Realme 6 Pro also comes with the same 4300 mAh battery, and they both take about 50 minutes to charge from 15% all the way to 100%, which I think it's kind of good for a mid-range smartphone like this. And there you have it. But before we forget the cameras, so the Realme 6 comes with a total of 4 cameras at the back, but only 3 of them are usable. So Realme actually replaced the telephoto camera with a depth sensor, which I think it's just quite a bad move, I guess. And within these three cameras itself, the main camera actually takes good photos, so you have good colors, good saturation, but the same issue like the Realme 6 Pro appears, whereby it just looks like an over sharpened painting, because when you zoom it in, then the details just disappear. And as for the ultra wide angle camera, well, the same thing does appear as well. It does take very good pictures, but when you look around the corners itself, then the chromatic aberration starts to appear. And for that macro camera, once again, do not use it. Might as well use the main camera, take pictures in 64 megapixel and then zoom it in. That would look much better than any pictures that will turn out from the 2 megapixel macro camera that is found at the back of this phone. So in conclusion, I still can't give you the complete conclusion because we still do not have the price for both the Realme 6 and the Realme 6 Pro. But what we can tell you now is that the Realme 6 seems to be a much better buy. You do get most of the same things, like the same 4300 mAh battery, that 90Hz display, and then you also get the side-mounted fingerprint scanner and all of those good stuff. You do miss out the telephoto camera, so if you do a lot of zooming, then maybe not. Overall, I still like the Helio G90T chipset because it is much better in terms of both performance and also battery efficiency when it comes to 90Hz refresh rate compared to the Snapdragon 720G that is found on the Realme 6 Pro. And yeah, going by general consensus, the Realme 6 is supposed to be cheaper than the Realme 6 Pro itself, and we will update you whenever we have the information down in the description below. So if you have any questions about this phone or the Realme 6 Pro as well, do leave your questions down in the comment section below. We will try to answer them whenever we can. And we'll see you in the next video. And I think we'll be filming in this room a lot more because of the whole virus situation, and we are in the whole movement restricted order thing. And yeah, we'll just see you next time. Bye.